Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to comedian Dave Merheje about Just For Laughs Montreal Festival running between July 13th to the 31st. He's going to be part of the Just For the Culture shows running for most of the festival. Welcome to the show, man. It's so good to see you again, dude.
Man, great to see you, bro.
Good to see you. I mean, yeah, again, absolutely. Man, 40 years of Just For Laughs. Like, isn't that, it's pretty crazy to think about that, right? It's such an important kind of brand for what you do as a comedian.
Yeah, especially it's worldwide now.
It is, yeah.
In Canada, I remember, I say this all the time. You grow up watching it on TV. I remember being in my, growing up in my parents' home, and then you're just watching. You'd watch the galas.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what I remember as, seeing Tim Steeves, Mike McDonald, like everybody, bro.
Yeah.
I remember Tim Steeves' one specifically too.
I was at the Steve Martin gala when he hosted it. And I remember it was a big deal. He didn't host them like for a while, but dude, it was amazing. And the galas are cool because they're just stacked, right? They're like super shows, right?
But it's like also like when you're there, like, it's such a like wonderful energy it's the summer in Montreal.
Yeah.
Like,
but it's so cool. But just this year as well, like specifically with the, Just For the Culture shows, I mean, the lineups are just amazing, dude. Like, it's like one of the best lineups I've seen. Like, this one's, how excited are you for those shows, the Just For the Culture shows, man?
Oh, super, super excited. Because I know like some of the people personally.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And some I like know of and then met like, you meet them in through past, but they're all heavy hitters.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Right? Everyone can, obviously hold their own on such a high level. You know what I'm saying? Alonzo Bowden hosting.
Yeah, Alonzo, you got Paul, you got Jessica, Charming. You got Shang, it's an amazing lineup. And we'll get this over with too, with all the plugs to make sure, all the information to buy tickets will be in the link on the YouTube channel. But those shows are going to be July 13th, 28th. Most of them are going to be at Club Soda. And I believe the last ones are going to be Mtelus for the venue. And then you also have the Summer Love Habibi Volume 3 tour as well, right?
Yeah, it's something that's two shows.
That's two shows, yeah.
And the 28th at 10:30 p.m. And then
at the Diving Bell Social Club. So you got that. So it's busy. Do you like prepare? Like how much in advance, like mentally, do you prepare for these like it's gonna be an insane month. It's gonna be like nonstop, right?
Yeah, and I'm I just April 18th to May 22nd I did the Rick Mercer tour.
Yes. Across
Canada, and that was like, and I haven't done anything like that ever. So that was you get used to it. It was tiring in a sense, but I mean, you're just like, we were performing in these beautiful theaters. They did the TD Center, I believe, in Ottawa. He just has such a massive fan base.
Yeah. I'm speaking to him very soon too for the festival as well, which is awesome. Cool. Yeah.
So funny and super professional. It's like, and you are going from airport to airport. In that case, it was different because you're going from airport, hotel, train, car. Like it was pretty extensive traveling.
Yeah.
But then you just get to the theater and you're like, this is crazy. You're performing in front of thousands of people. So it's like, you just kind of get used to it. I did this show in 2019 and, so it would be the second, very close, I didn't think there would be that I'd be coming back to do it again, that recent.
Yep.
So, it is hectic, but I mean, I've experienced it before. So I know what maybe not to do and what to do.
Oh, absolutely. This is out of my mouth. You didn't pay me to say this, but I told you before we started, I think you are one of the best current comedians in Canada. The world has been able to see you, especially in the States. You're on Rami on Hulu, which is an amazing show as well. When did the global component of things start to sink in for you, where, you know, you do these shows in Montreal for Just for Laughs, but we've established this is global, and then you do the show with Rami on Hulu and everything. When did you realize that it's like, hey, we're not just talking about Canada now, this is like the world get to see my stuff?
Yeah, well, specifically with Rami, it's like, you know, it's all over the world. So that's went to Lebanon for the first time. I'm of Lebanese. My parents are from Lebanon, but you know, moved to Windsor, Canada a long time ago.
Yep.
And I got to go to Lebanon for the first time a few weeks back. And I'm 41 years old, never been to the, you know, I got to see my mom's village and my dad's village. I got to see where my mom was born and grew up, and the church she would go to. But I remember the first night in, we were going to a bar, and then I was walking by. It was a group of us, and this guy on the patio was like, "Hey man, are you from Rami?"
Rami.
And I was like, "That's so wild to me." It
were
still
you
is.
Because I wonder if you said something kind of funny, like, I don't know, you tell me, like, am I from Rami or something?
No, I was very like, you know, I was almost, because it's like, it's so trippy.
It's like outer body almost, right?
Like,
it feels outer body, right? When somebody, exactly, yeah.
Like I knew it was showing in the Middle East. I knew that, but it was more of like, still when that happens, it's just such a like dope thing. So I didn't really have. I think I just said thank you, I believe. And then like, that's when I think I started to feel it, like where, you know, people had seen me outside of Canada.
Do stand-up comedians these days almost have no choice but to kind of dive into the acting world? Do you feel a bit? Because I feel like they get kind of pushed in that, and I feel like all of like the biggest, like everyone on this festival for Just for Laughs, almost all of them are like in a TV show or a movie that we've kind of seen on Netflix or anything. You know what I mean? Even though their main profession is stand-up. What do you think about that transition? Are they getting like, are they leaning more towards kind of diving into the acting world a little bit more, in your opinion?
I mean, I can't really speak for anyone else, but I mean, there's like so many avenues, like now with podcasting. Podcasting is very, you know, probably it feels like one of the main things comedians are doing to tour.
Yep.
You know, I always wanted to be an actor.
Yes.
Even before stand-up.
Okay.
For me, stand-up was like just a way to find my voice and then hopefully get casted.
Yep.
I don't really, you know, I wasn't really as vocal about that when I was coming up in stand-up. So a lot of the friends around me, you know, thought stand-up was the main thing, but it was always acting.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's for
that
me,
is interesting. Does that happen a lot more than you think? Like you just assume that people, because like, you know, you were acting, but you were doing stand-up for quite some time, right?
Long time.
Yeah. So
I think, I don't know. I just know for me, I was like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't speak for everyone. No, I'm just saying, because like just the amount of amazing, talented stand-up comedians that people could be able to see at Just for Laughs Montreal this year, a lot of them act. Like,
yeah, I think a lot of, you know, I think a lot of them have for sure. Like, you know, it's as they aspire to that, because it's, you know, I love it. Yeah. I was able, you know, last year to film a movie with Daisy Ridley.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was like one of the dopest experiences I've ever had. Just like in a sense that I got to like, you know, act with someone who's so amazing at acting and learn from it and, you know, be better.
I'm gonna ask you a question now where like it's about you. Like you're not allowed to speak for everyone else. Like I kind of butchered that first question. Yeah. For you specifically, has comedy always had serious undertones? Like in terms of like the stand-up comedy that you do where, you know, this like touching on really important social issues and certain things and social commentary. Has it always had the serious undertones? Because I feel like we're gravitating towards a lot of comedy, a lot of TV shows, because it's slice of life and it's realistic and everything, always has those like serious undertones like linked to it.
I mean, when I started, I didn't really know how to do comedy, and it was much different. Then at one point I got into serious matters, and at other points now, more recently, it's just like, you know, I speak on a lot about my family and like their anxieties and depression and stuff. So there are, I guess, serious undertones, but it's more of like, for me, I want to just draw from something that's personal.
Yeah.
It's easier for me to make it, not easier for me. It's just like something I enjoy. And it's also like therapeutic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Therapeutic moments for myself. So it's like, yeah, it's more about, I guess it is selfish in that sense, but I'm not I don't really tackle, like topics of the world, like social topics.
Yeah, but sometimes it just kind of happens. Like sometimes it
has to be like, I have to know what I'm talking about.
Yes, of
course.
course.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes someone's like, "Oh, do you talk about politics?" I go, I don't do a good job of knowing anything about it, so I'm not going to speak on it. It's just not fair.
I think we have a tendency to kind of assume and speak about things that we're not very prepared to speak about. You know what I mean by that?
And I don't want to do it for any kind of like wave, like that a wave is like, there's like waves in comedy where it's like, this is what everyone is doing or talking about.
Right, absolutely, yeah.
Do that because I just don't have enough information, or I just don't care as much. So it's not authentic to the people that would watch me.
No, absolutely. No, for sure. No. Very quickly before we wrap up, what is a quick, I don't know if I asked you this last time you were on my show. When did we do the last interview? Was that like during the pandemic, like 2 years ago? Yeah, okay. Yeah. What is a misconception about stand-up comedy you could share with me right now? Something that like, I'm like, hey, Dave, it's like this. You're like, nope, it's the exact opposite. What's something quickly you could share?
I think when sometimes people say you can't, you're silenced or like, can't say, I mean, people are saying what they want, like, and it is getting like, it is finding a home. Like it's on YouTube, like to say that it's completely, but again, I don't really talk like, my topics aren't edgy. So no one's telling me like.
Well, I think it's because like I think too, your facial expressions, and you smile a lot during your bits too. It's like people. Do you find that too? Like that's why like I want to see Dave Merheje. I want to see you in a horror movie because you're gonna be that guy in a horror movie, Dave. Where like you're gonna be that character that's just not like trying to be funny, but you're just gonna say something.
I mean, I think in Rami too, I don't really like, there are some moments for sure that are dramatic, but I mean, I used to not like laugh and smile as much in my stand-up. And then someone had told me a long time ago, another comic, that you should smile more, two different people. And then I would laugh, and I was like, somebody had said, hey, stop laughing too much. But then I was like, other people were like, no, just if you're enjoying yourself, because it kind of seems like it doesn't come off authentic.
I think it's amazing, and I think some of your stuff is amazing. I remember too, you did like, you were part of like some commercials, some like do you remember? I texted you about that. There was like a commercial with Mark Scheifele or something from the Jets.
Yeah, it was an ad that.
Yeah, and I texted you about it. You were like, oh man, like this is airing already. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, because I didn't know when they were airing it, but it was like
that's also a misconception about like acting and gigs like that, like where people think actors know what's going on because they really don't.
No, I think they told me when it comes out. Maybe I wasn't paying attention.
Anyway, we'll leave it at that, Dave. Yeah. Always a pleasure catching up with you, man. Seriously. Okay, just for Laughs Montreal, they can buy tickets now. Just for the Culture is going to be July 13th to the 28th. They're going to check that out. Club Soda for most of the shows. Mtelus. You're going to have the Summer Love Habibi Volume 3 tour. There's 2 shows at the end of July as well. All the links will be in the description. You're active on social media, right? They can follow you Twitter, Instagram, right?
Yeah, it's just Dave Merheje, Merheje.
Amazing. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Catch Dave Merheje this summer at Just for Laughs Montreal. Until next time, this is Dave and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.